Welcome to the home of speed. Welcome to the Italian Grand Prix here at Monza, one of the most historic tracks on the OC calendar. The 14th time we've been here in Monza, the 8th of 9 tracks of course that have been on the OC calendar every season. Circuit located on the outskirts of Milan. The final European race of the season of course, this is the big one, with 8 teams having won here with the past 13 seasons, McLaren and Mercedes being the teams that won the most, with Ferrari in third, winning 2 times here. So of course the lap record set, one of the few lap records still set back in 2009, 10 seasons ago, set by Florian Volker with a 1:20.096, 53 laps of course, circuit length of 5.793 kilometers, 11 corners. It's a very basic circuit this one, but of course it requires still the same amount of skill as any other track. Previous 4 winners here have included Joseph Willows winning here in 2015, Warner winning twice, 2016 and 2017, and of course Florian Volker, the champion from last season, winning in 2018. So they're the previous 4 winners. Of course we're now going to look at the tyres which we'll be using for this race, which will of course be the medium tyres. And now to take a look at the practice results from Italy, with Joseph Willows being the driver on top for Ferrari of course, Franco Lopez second, ahead of Chung in third, Gamba fourth, Gomez fifth, Byrne sixth, Carr, Catalan, De Rosa and Gal completing the rest of the top 10. A good performance as well by Martinez as well, getting 11th. But that was practice, and now this was what happened in qualifying. And in qualifying it was the 2 Mercedes on the front row, Amar Carr in first and Franco Lopez second. So the Mercedes taking it from the 2 Ferraris, with Laura Chung in third, Franco Gamba in fourth, and of course Laura Chung who won the last round actually at Belgium by a comfortable margin. Fifth was Joseph Willows for Ferrari, and sixth David Kupok. What a performance for him in the Toro Rosso. On the 4th row of the grid we have Kirosova De Rosa 7th for McLaren and Miguel Scal 8th for Red Bull. On the 5th row of the grid we have Evan Byrne for Renault and Paolino Tomaselli 10th for McLaren. On row 6 of the grid we have Andrea Federi 11th for Alfa Romeo, Rolo Moichin 12th for Racing Point Mercedes. Row 7 is Matteo Catalan for Toro Rosso and George Roque for Racing Point Mercedes. And as we move on to row 8 we have Jay McKenzie for Renault and Maxime Titkoff, who did a good job getting the Mana into Q2 in qualifying, so good performance by him. On the 9th row of the grid we have the 2 Haas drivers of Jared Fosbury and Chris Chatfield. Neither driver have yet to be announced for next season. On row 10 of the grid we have Gabriel Gomez 19th for Alfa Romeo and Felix Sonntag 20th for Williams. And on the final row of the grid of course we have Rosetta Martinez for Mana and Lean Capana last for Williams. So that was the grid. And the OC news for this week is that Laura Chung will, no surprise, remain at Ferrari for next season, and Rosetta Martinez will also remain at Mana for next season. So 2 bits of team news that are not a surprise to anybody. Race-wise, of course, it will be a dry race, sunny, and a 0% chance of rain. So let's get this show on the road here in Monza as we now head towards the grid. 53 laps, although at this race it will generally go through very quickly, as it will be, of course, a dry race. So as the 5 lights are now coming on here for the Italian Grand Prix, and the 5 lights go out and we're underway, and who's going to get the jump into the first corner? It looks like Carr has made a decent jump. Lopez might get swamped by the Ferraris and the Red Bulls if he's not careful. We are going to see as they head towards the first chicane, but I think Carr's got the lead unless Lopez tries it on the inside, which he doesn't. So Carr does take the lead, or keeps the lead I should say. Lopez in second, Chung in third, ahead of Gal in fourth, as they head now towards the second chicane. First of many chicanes, of course, around this circuit. So meanwhile, at the start, Gallo's been an unbelievable start. Actually, I didn't even realise he's moved up 4 places off the line, make that 5 places off the line as he passes Chung into the first chicane. So wow, as Federi battling with Catalan there, who gets overtaken by De Rosa, who himself has made a bad start. He's gained 1 place back from the 4 that he's lost. Sonntag, meanwhile, has made an unbelievable jump as well. He was down in like 18th or whatever, I think even 20th. He was way down the order, but amazingly as well, all 22 cars have got through the first chicane without any issues. So we're going to have a look at the start once again. So this is the on-board from Miguel Scal, who started further down in the top 10. So he got past Kupok there, got a very good launch of the line. Then past Willows, then past Gamba, heading in towards the first corner, heading in towards the first chicane, and then finally, obviously, a corner later, or 2 corners later, he passes Chung for third, coming into the chicane. So wow, what a start for Gal, but hopefully we'll see a couple of other replays of some of the other fast starters on the grid. As we look at obviously the replay of Gal, then finally going on the inside, getting the slipstream of Chung, and taking the inside and making the overtake into the Della Roggia chicane. So this was the onboard from Paolino Tomaselli, who himself has also made a good start. Jumped De Rossi's teammate there, and another car off the line. And now gets to past Kupok, who unfortunately has been swapped, and Willows as well. So Joseph Willows unfortunately not had a good start. Tomaselli has himself made a great start, moving up to 6th position. And now finally, let's hopefully get a view of Felix Sontag's start. And here we go. So he started all the way down to 20. You can see he gets a much better launch than Gabriel Gomez alongside him. Already passed him before they've even got past the start-finish line. So he's now trying to pass Chris Chatfield. And so he's alongside him, gets through him. Then there's Fosbury, then goes past the racing point. Just the gap opens up, and Sontag just manages to sneak through. And he's going through. Oh, actually, there's a bit of contact there with that was the McLaren there of De Rossa, who made contact with into the chicane there, and lucky they didn't get any damage. And De Rossa almost spinning or half spinning by the contact there from Felix Sontag. As meanwhile, Gamba battling with Laura Chung there. Meanwhile, Tomaselli battling with Willows, and is Tomaselli going to make the move past Willows? And yes. So he makes the move past Joseph Willows for 6th place there. And Willows might now be under pressure from David Kupok, but Willows has a slipstream. As meanwhile, Lopez goes past Armar Carr and takes the lead of the race, going through the Parabolica there, coming onto the first lap. It's almost 3 wide, coming to the Parabolica in the mid-pack. That's not going to work, but Willows did get back past Tomaselli, but of course now they're coming onto the front straight, where slipstream is going to be key. Now we're looking at Armar Carr, who's going past Franco Lopez, or attempting to. As meanwhile, Miklas Gauss is the fastest lap, and Carr does take the lead straight back from Lopez. And as meanwhile, Willows still ahead of Tomaselli into chicane. Kupok battling with Federi, who I think actually just got past Kupok for 8th position there. Evan Byrne in 10th. Behind him is De Rossa in 11th position. So lots of movements already happening on the first lap, and I think we're going to see this probably throughout most of the race, let's be honest, because the slipstream is so key here and it's so easy to get into the back of them. So as they're looking on board with Roland Moitian, trying to pass his teammate Roke into the second chicane here, into the Della Roggia chicane. And Moitian is on the inside, and he's through up into 15th place. Roke down to 16th. There's Fosbury behind, who is attempting to make a move on Roke as they're coming through the 2 fast right-handers. They are the 2 Lesmos. And so now as we look at the battle at the front, Lopez, I think, fallen slightly away. I don't think he's quite enough in the slipstream of Carr in front. But meanwhile, Miklas Gau is closing right behind him, though. So Gau could, he is in the slipstream now. So I wonder if he might make a move coming into the Parabolica here. We're going to find out. Gal is on the inside. He's going to make the move for 2nd position here. He's on the inside, and yes, Gal takes 2nd position, but Lopez will get the slipstream shortly coming off the Parabolica, so he's surely going to get position straight back here as they now come onto the straight. And you see Lopez already passing Gal for 2nd place, repassing him as Gal sets the fastest lap. No, Laura Chung now sets the fastest lap in 4th position. No, Willows sets the fastest lap at 1:19.6. Now that is quick. So Willows finally seems to have got himself going now. Despite making a bit of a shaky start. But Lopez does, of course, keep 2nd place from Gal. Then Laura Chung is in 4th there. Jay McKenzie's moved up a couple of positions. He's in 9th. Felix Sontag, I think I just saw, was in the pits as a yellow flag out. And De Rossa is out. And that's at the start-finish line. So what's happened there? So De Rossa is out. Evan Byrne is in the pits. I saw Sontag was in the pits. So I think there must have been a crash that's happened. Meanwhile, McKenzie's moved up 6th position. So let's go on board with De Rossa. There's a car off in front, I think. And I think that there must have been Sontag going into him there, and then De Rossa hits the debris, and then Roland Moitian gets stuck behind De Rossa there, and there's debris off everywhere. And Moitian then rejoins just about in front of his teammate Roke there. There's debris that's still flying everywhere, and amazingly Roke doesn't get any damage from that. So what happened here? So it was Federi actually the one who originally went wide, coming through the Parabolica, loses his wing, and then rejoins right in front of the Renault there of Evan Byrne. And I think that is going to be a slam dunk penalty there for Federi for a dangerous rejoin. Just rejoins right in front of Byrne, who could do nothing about it. This is the other replay from that angle. You see, just touching the grass. Once you touch the grass at such a high speed, there's not really much recovery from that. And then right in front of Byrne, and then Sontag, how unlucky is that? He'd almost got through there perfectly, and unfortunately managed to catch the debris there. Unfortunately, managed to go in the pits, and this is of course Moitian getting caught by De Rossa's terminally damaged car. He's lucky in Moitian they didn't actually get damage himself there. So as we look at the debris flying out everywhere, so this was obviously on board with De Rossa, and there was a Catalan going past, and then he hits the wing there, and how Moitian has got away without damage there, I've no idea. He's very, very lucky to get away with that one. But De Rossa, of course, unfortunately is the one who is out of this race. Meanwhile, Joseph Willard, having set the fastest lap last lap, is now on a mission. Look at the top 6, and I mean top 7 even on the same straight as Tomaselli is still there in the background. And so Willows now does make it through up into P5, but of course Gamba might still get the position straight back coming into the chicane. And here we go, Gamba's now on the inside, heading towards the first chicane, although he's not quite got the straight line speed. And no, he has to go back into the slipstream and now pops back out and will try once again, but Willows defends, so that's not going to happen right there. And so as we look now at this full speed, this Catalan complete the points, and there's a car in. Oh, and there's a car that's gone out. It's hit the debris. And who is that? That is a Racing Point. That is Roke, who is out. And he's hit the debris. Deja vu moment right there. But Roke gets over the finish line there. But it looks like Lean Campana is involved. Jay McKenzie, who himself had made a great start, had recovered several positions. And now that's all gone to pot. So Roke is now out. And he's actually pulled up right at the exit of the pits there. So let's hope the cars don't get too affected by it as they come out of the pits. But of course, as we said, Roke is out, and then the Renault just avoids him. McKenzie there, then Lean Campana. So let's see it. It looks like it was McKenzie's error as we're looking at him, and yes, he goes wide. Does exactly the same thing Videri does. Loses his wing, and then and then of course Campana hits it. So the Williams getting very unlucky, and then Roke, who was attempting to pass Chatfield on the front straight, then unfortunately catches the debris there. And so this is Roke again. As you came to try and pass Chatfield, then unfortunately gets caught out by the debris there. So Chatfield, very lucky man to get away with that. But got a feel for Roke there, just unlucky, wrong place at the wrong time, and that is another retirement here. Now, meanwhile, we're looking at this battle once again. This is for the lead. This is Lopez now trying to get past Carr down the front straight, side by side between the two. Gal's still in the background there, but meanwhile, Willows, Chung is closing onto the back of Willows, I should say, as we look at this battle for P1, and now Lopez does take P1 back away from Amar Carr, and Gal is still there, Chung in 4th, and Willows in 5th. So no, Willows was in 5th actually. So I think unless Chung overtook him at some point, I don't know. But anyway, Chung is ahead of Willows, I should say. As we look at the rest of the order, there's Byrne in 16th, there's Videri, Sontag, Campana. So 20 cars still left, so 2 cars out. Roke and De Rossa drivers getting caught out at Parabolica. So Gals had still managed to keep up with the leaders. Meanwhile, the 2 Ferraris of Chung and Willows are getting pretty close to each other, as now we look at Willows in the slipstream of Chung heading towards the Ascari chicane, and so Willows now on the inside of Chung, and is he going to make a move on the inside of her? And the answer is yes. So Willows now up into P4, so good move there by him, but Chung could still get him back coming into the Parabolica, of course. But they've got to be careful because Franco Gamma's there, and it's almost 3 wide coming down the back straight here, and Chung might get done by both Willows and Gamba here, and she has, but of course she'll have the opportunity to get Gamba straight away coming into the first chicane. And I'm not sure Gamba, is he quite close enough in the switching to Willows? I don't know, but Chung is going to try and get straight back. Meanwhile, Gal is going to attempt to pass Carr for P2 here. Carr being overtaken by Gal on the inside. Is he going to make it stick? And the answer is actually no, not quite. I mean, Chung did hold off Gamba actually for P5 there, but Gal is all over the back of Carr like a cheap suit. Meanwhile, that's allowing Franco Lopez to get away out front, although his fuel was pretty light, so it's probably the reason why he was so quick. And so we look as Gal slips back behind the Mercedes there. Jared Fosbury himself has actually had a good race so far, up into 9th position. As we look through the rest of the order, there's Campana in last, Lopez, and now Gal once again all over the back. Car really defending from the Hungarian as they come now through onto the back straight, heading towards the Ascari chicane. Gal really pressuring Car, the Brit versus the Hungarian. Gal on the inside. This should be an easy move for Gal, I think, and yep, Gal is through, and he moves up into 2nd position. Car now going to be under pressure from Joseph Willis, who seems very fast in this stint of the race. So Car might lose another position here if he's not careful. And Willows already, look at that, on the inside of Car, heading towards Parabolica. And surely this is going to be the move for Willows. He's on the inside, and yes, he's made it past Amar Car. Oh, no, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. He's off. And he has gone off. And Joseph Willows, that is crucial for the championship. And Franco Lopez cannot believe his luck. And Chung has got past Car as well in the meantime. But oh my word, that is a crucial error there from Joseph Willows. I thought he'd done the move on Car coming into the Parabolica, but as you can see on board with him, just goes wide there, and Car is lucky to get away with that actually as well. Happened right in front of him, and thank God he slowed down a bit, Car, otherwise he would have been caught by Willows. You can see Willows going a little bit wide there, and so close to contact, and if Car didn't back off right here, then he would have been involved. I mean, he and Willows would have been off together But as you can see, going off, touching the grass, and once you're on the grass around the parabolica, you are a passenger, and Joseph Willis is out of the race, just like that. Meanwhile, Sontag going past Federi for 17th place, coming into the parabolica there. But that means the order now: Lopez first, Gal in second, Chung in third, Carr fourth, Franco Gamba, despite having really done nothing this race, is fifth, Tomasetti sixth, Fosbury is up to seventh, Catalan has just passed Kupok for eighth, and Ronamoichin is in 10th, as Federi has also got back past Sontag there. And so as we look now through the order of this, Tomasetti, he's still actually keeping up with the guys. Actually, he's not that far off. Meanwhile, Gamma, who himself is on the back of Armar Carr, this is for 4th place, and Gamma going to try and make a move coming into the parabolica here. Is he going to do it? The answer is not quite, actually. So he's going to have to hold off and wait until the front straight, of course, where we'll get the slipstream, and then he'll be able to make the move into the first chicane. As now we look at Gamma going past Carr. Look at how quick the Red Bull is going past the Mercedes, just like in real life. As we look at Carr being overtaken and Gamba's on the inside, this should be the move done, and yes it is. So Carr now being overtaken by Gamba for P4. Lopez has got about, I think it was a 2.8 second gap, I think last time I saw, to Gal in second place. So as there's Fosbury, who's actually not that far. Carr. Imagine if Fosbury, imagine if Tomasetti passes Carr there. But Lopez, probably the reason why it's so quick is because he's got light fuel. He could be pitting pretty soon, either this, well no, it won't be this lap, either next lap or the lap after. So I wonder if he might be doing the 3-stop strategy, although the 2-stop is definitely the way to go around here. 3-stop, unless you have super duper pace, is not the way to go. Oh no, and Tomasetti is out. One of the Italian drivers is out of the race, and Tomasetti, who's doing so well as well, running in 6th position, and he is going to get nothing from this race. The car actually almost in the middle of the road there, but you really got a feel for him. As now Jared Fosbury is going to move up to 6th place, Catalan up into 7th there, but Tomasetti, you really got a feel for a mechanical failure which has caused his retirement from the Grand Prix. And yeah, you really got a feel for the Italian in front of his home crowd. But at the moment, Franco Gamba still running in 4th place. He's the highest Italian in this race. The marshal now comes to push Tomasetti's car away. And what was the problem? Well, it was a puncture, in fact, actually. So pushing too hard to try and keep up with the front runners. And then, yep, there it goes. Just they were coming on to the back straight from the 2 legs and was heading towards the Ascari chicane. And Tomasetti's race is unfortunately done for. So he retires. He is the 3rd retirement from this race now. And we've only been 9 laps in. So now we look at, speaking of coming in, we have Franco Lopez, that's coming into the pits, and meanwhile Federi has received a 25-second time penalty for causing the multiple car incident on lap 2, and yeah, that's not really much of a surprise, that one, I think you have to say. But so Lopez comes in, and he's got a lot of fuel on for the next stint, so it's clear that he's actually not going to be doing the 3-stop, he's going to be doing the 2-stop. So as Lopez comes out of the pits, that's I think 7.4 seconds, and he comes out, looks like, I think it's going to be just in front of David Kupok or just behind. I think it might be just behind, yep, and David Kupok just goes past this, so Lopez comes out in P9, so we'll see how he does from this stop as he comes into the chicane there. So as we look at Miklos Gau, actually, who's coming in actually onto the pits on the very same lap as well. So we're going to have a look and see if Gau can jump Lopez. I don't know what the gap was until when they pitted, but it was about, I think, 2 seconds. So yeah, I mean the overcut is technically possible. So as Gao now coming through the chicane, he's got Chung fairly close to him. Just behind is Laura Chung, less than a second, but Gao's coming in, so that will relieve Chung and allow her to take the race and see what pace that she now has. Now she's not stuck behind a Red Bull. As we look now at Gao coming into the pits, and in he goes. So now Laura Chung will take the lead of this race. Franco Gamba will be up into 2nd position, to the delight, of course, of the Italian crowd. So Gao is in, and so we are going to find out where he comes back out on the circuit. Will he come out back ahead of Franco Lopez is going to be the big question, and we're going to find out the answer to that very soon. And so as we look at Gao coming out of the pits, so he's going to come out in P5, is it? No, 6, possibly 7. I think Smoichin probably will go past. And so Miklos Gau comes up the pits, and David Kupok is there, so it looks like Gau actually will do the overcut, and he is going to jump ahead of Franco Lopez. Look at that. So the overcut really working very well there for Red Bull, although Lopez being held up behind David Kupok. It certainly didn't help, but I don't know. I mean, he's only just seemingly caught up to him now, Lopez, so I think Gal, maybe even without Kupok, probably would have still stayed in front. But as we look at Lopez, he was getting close to him there, coming to the chicane, but I don't think he was quite close enough to make a move. Rilla Moichin, I think, had just come out of the pits. Meanwhile, Martinez is trying to pass the Alfa Romeo here, coming into the chicane, and he's not going to... Oh, nearly contact. That was very close. Very, very close. Now Mackenzie trying to make a move through as well, but not quite able to do so. Meanwhile, Chatfield's on the back of the Manor there, as we look at Jared Fosbury, who at the moment, by the way, is in P4. P4. Tick-off at the moment in the top 10, of course, but how long will that last? Gomez in 9th. As we look at Lopez, who still hasn't got past David Kupok yet, so he needs to get past him ASAP if he wants to catch up with Nicolas Gal ahead. So as Lopez now attempting to go past Kupok, coming in towards the Parabolica, and is he going to make it stick? And the answer is no, he can't do it, so he's going to have to wait until the front straight, and surely this could be the time when Lopez makes the move, as he's now starting to go alongside the Toro Rosso driver. And so as they head towards the first chicane, and so Lopez now going to attempt to make the move. Surely he's going to do it, is he? Yes, and actually no, he's not, so he still can't get past Kupok. That's great news for Gal. He's going to stretch his advantage. I don't know what the gap is between Kupok and Gal now, but it's going to be a few seconds at least. Jared Fosbury is coming to the pits for his first stop of the race as well. He'd had a good first stint as well, as we have a yellow flag out, and oh, it's Felix Sontag who is out, and he's the one you really got to feel for as well. Almost made it through the chaos caused by Videri, then got unfortunately done by the debris. That really screwed him over, and now unfortunately for him, he's going to get precisely nothing from this race just after he came out of the pits as well. That's just to compound his misery. So as you look at Sontag with the problem, of course, he then retires from the GP. Meanwhile, Lopez still yet to pass Kupok, and this is just doing wonders. And now finally he does, coming into the Ascari chicane at long last. Meanwhile, Laura Chung now coming into the pits for her first stop of the race. She's coming a few laps after a lot of the top guys, but as we look at her coming out of the pits, and that was a pretty quick stop actually, 5.9 seconds. That is very, very quick indeed. So where is she going to come out on the circuit actually? Because Gal is P4, so Laura Chung comes out of the pits, and where is Gal? And Gal is actually just there. So Laura Chung actually, I think, does come out behind Gal, but it's actually it's still fairly close. Meanwhile, Gabriel Gomez, now he's going to attempt to pass David Kupok, coming into the first chicane, and he's alongside the German, and this is going to be a very easy move. And yep, Gabriel Gomez is through up into P6. But Laura Chung does come out obviously behind Gal, but it's still fairly close, and Chung will have slightly fresher tyres than Gal, so that could be, keyword is could be, an interesting battle, but you will never know. Meanwhile, as we look at Franco Gamba, who himself is going to come in for his first stop of the race on this lap. So into the pits he comes. I say comes, he's about to go into the pits, but he's coming through the final corner. The gap to car behind is about 4 seconds, 4.2 to be precise. And now he enters the pit entry, and there's also a pit call, I think that is for Maxim Titkov as well. He's going to be coming into the pits this lap. Frank Gamba, of course, is in, and he will change all 4 tyres. And let's see how quick will the stop be. So, of course, it will be a 2-stop for Gamba. I actually didn't quite get to see what Gal's fuel was like, actually. Never mind. So, as Gamba comes out the pit, 7.2, not exactly well, not bad, I guess, but not exactly quick. So, where's he going to come out on the circuit, actually? He's going to come out in, looks like P4. Is he going to come out ahead of Lopez, even? And yes, he is. He's way ahead of Lopez. Lopez hasn't even got to the pit exit yet, but he has now. But Gamba is comfortably ahead. So even with passing David Kupok, Lopez just seemingly has no pace at all in this stint. So Gal, Chung, and Gamba have all jumped him. So at the moment it's not looking good, and I wonder if Amar Kar could jump him as well. So I'll be interested to see what that happens. But meanwhile, Laura Chung, who's still on the back, of course, of Nicolas Gal, so that is set to be a battle for the effective race lead. Meanwhile, Matteo Catalan is passing Andrea Federi coming into the first chicane. And does he make it stick? The answer is yes, he does. So he is through up into 11th place. So he's attempting to go past Federi for 11th position. And Federi, of course, who caused that whole chaos, because he's got 25 seconds. So he is going to feel that come the end of the race. Catalan on the inside, coming into the chicane. Is he going to do it? And yeah, I think he's going to get the run around there, and he does. Up into 11th goes Matteo Catalan, and Videri actually himself is coming to the pits this lap. Meanwhile, Mackenzie trying to pass Jared Fosbury, who himself actually pitted early on, and he's not actually managed to recover very well, considering the fact Mackenzie was involved in an accident early on, and he's all over the back of him, Mackenzie, although he has to pit as he attempts to go almost around the outside there of the Haas, coming with the straight middle for Dairy, really trying to get past his fellow Italian Catalan there, coming in towards the Ascari chicane, but unable to do so. So he's not going to be able to do it now because he's going to pit for Dairy. Meanwhile, Lean Campana all over the back of Mackenzie now as they head towards the Parabolica, and so he's alongside the Polish driver, and no, he slots back in behind the Polish driver as they now come round into the Parabolica. Mackenzie himself is in the slipstream of Jared Fosbury in front of him, and so it looks like he's going to make the move on the inside. So they head towards the first chicane. So side by side between the two, and now Campana going to attempt to try and pass himself as well. To get past one, maybe even both, but I think he slots back in and waits. So Mackenzie does go past Fosbury, and now Campana will probably try and pass Fosbury as well. But as I said, unfortunately for Jared Fosbury, despite his good first stint, it doesn't look like it is doing very well for him. Meanwhile, this is actually the thing we've been waiting for. And this is Laura Chung going past Mika Scal, coming towards the Ascari chicane. Look at the speed she has, and goes past the Red Bull very easily there. And now Amakar comes in, so Laura Chung is now going to take the effective race lead. And could Laura Chung win 2 in a row in the OC? Meanwhile, Carl's pit stop was very quick, 5.8 seconds as Chung and Gal go by. And I think he's going to come out in 4th place, but I think he's going to come out behind Gamba. But he's going to come out ahead of Lopez, who's, I think, just coming down the street right now. And yeah, he is. So Lopez has just got absolutely no pace whatsoever. Been jumped by 4 cars since the first stop. It's just not going very well for him at all. Meanwhile, Evan Byrne is coming in. He's actually running in the top 10, considering the fact obviously he was involved on the first lap. It's not a bad recovery actually from the Irishman. So as he comes into the pits for his his first official stop. And so it looks like 10, 20. Yeah, that's going to be it's going to be 2 stops. What was I thinking? Yeah, so it's going to be 2 stops, 7.3 seconds for Byrne, but still been, as I said, a very good recovery for him as he now comes out of the pits. And so here we go. As we look at Frank Gam at the moment in 30s, about 5 seconds off of the lead. Gao almost a second away from Chung now, who is just starting to edge away from the Red Bull at this moment in time. And so as we look at Gamma right now running, you can see on his own in 3rd, he's not near Gao, and Carl's not near him too, but Carl could still, of course, catch up later on in the race, so never count him out. I mean, anything can still happen. We've only been 18 laps in at this moment in time, so as I said, anything could still happen. But Laura Chung is the person leading this race, and now it's just up to a second, so again, edging slightly clear of Gao there, enough to be out of the slipstream of the Red Bull. Meanwhile, we're looking at Jared Fosbury under pressure now from Lean Campana coming into the Ascari chicane, and Campana goes by. So Jared Fosbury is really struggling on this stint at this moment in time. It's just not gone very well for him at all. Qpoc going out. He's on a lot of fuel, so I think he's doing the 1 stop. I think Chatfield may have been doing the same actually. But as we look at Frank Gam, the gap to car about 4 or 5 seconds. I mean, this is Maxime Titkov on the back of his teammate Rosetta Martinez, coming now down the front straight, heading towards the first chicane. And so there we go. He's now on the inside of the Mana Titkov of his teammate, and he should be through. And yep, he is up into 13th position there, passing Martinez. Videri up to 15th. There's Lean Campana and Mackenzie have both just come out of the pits. Gao just about keeping up with Chung, but Chung has got the gap to him at this moment in time, 1.7 seconds. So I mean, she's edging away just ever so slightly every lap, not huge amounts, but enough anyway. That's for sure. As we look at now, we look at Laura Chung coming through the chicane, isn't it? Now we look at Fosbury under pressure from Evan Byrne, who's about to try and overtake him into the first chicane. And does Byrne do it? Yes, no, yeah, I think he does. Byrne's got the run around the outside, fresher tyres, and he's through. So Jared Fosbury, unfortunately, just really struggling. Him and Franco Lopez not having fun on this second stint at this moment in time. But Fosbury is going to try and get Byrne back, actually, coming into the next chicane, the Roger chicane, and Fosbury does overtake Byrne back there, so he's not giving up without a fight, that's for sure. Byrne won't be too happy with that. So gap actually Chung to Gal now up to 2.6 seconds. Gamba, I don't think is at the moment. I don't think he's going to pose a threat to Gal yet. No, but I don't think it's going to happen because Gal's been pretty quick this race. But Laura Chung is being even quicker. That is for sure. But as we look now at Gal coming through the De Rozier chicane there, gap to Gamba, I think it was about 6.2, 6.3 seconds. Chung extending the gap now to 2.9 seconds ahead of Gal in second position. Gamba about 9 seconds off. Carr about 2 seconds off him. Lopez 10 seconds off Carr, and just I think we can forget him trying to win this race. Gabriel Gomez at the moment 6th, Kupok 7th, as Byrne trying to get past Fosbury as well. I don't believe Gomez, Kupok, Chatfield haven't pitted yet. Moichin has, Catalan I believe has, Fosbury has, but is really struggling. Byrne has twice, and is on the pace on the back of Fosbury now, as he heads towards the second chicane, and so Byrne is now on the inside of the Haas, and is he going to make the move? And yes, Byrne does make it through past Jared Fosbury for 11th position there, so good move there by the Irishman. So he is through, up another position, and so we look now at Laura Chung at this moment in time, who is leading this race, but she's now going to come up traffic, coming up to this big gaggle of cars here. I say big gaggle, it's a triplet of cars as Federi almost goes into the Renault there of Mackenzie. My god, that was close, but now Chung is there, and she's now trying to lap these guys, and that could allow Gal to catch up. But how there wasn't another collision there between Mackenzie and Federi, I don't know. That was so unbelievably close. Just look at that. That is as close as you can really get. But fortunately, Mackenzie still manages to get the position there off. And there was the replay from Federi's card. I'm just still really tight. And so Federi not able to keep the position there. And of course now he gets lapped by Laura Chung as she goes by there. And Laura Chung does go past. And actually Campana even goes by as well. So Federi really lost out badly there. And so Gal actually himself is coming to the pits this lap. So I think Gal is definitely going to be on the 3-stop strategy, and so I think Chung is definitely on the 2-stop, so I don't think the 3-stop is particularly going to help Gal win here, but you never know what could happen. I mean, there could still be some drama for Chung, you don't know, but at this moment in time Chung seems to have the edge over Gal. Meanwhile Gal now trying to lap this traffic here, which he does, going past the Williams and now going past the Alfa Romeo, which he does. And well, it just now finally does actually in the end, but it won't matter for now because he's going to go into the pits, and Capana going to try and overtake Federi for 60th position. Meanwhile, Mackenzie attempting to unlap himself, going past Chung, heading towards the first chicane here, and he's right behind, and Mackenzie's going to go back past, and yes, he is. So he goes back past Laura Chung, so that's not going to please her at all. Gal, of course, into the pits, and he's, as I said, doing the 3-stopper, so he's going to be pitting late on. So we'll see actually if he might try and get the fastest lap or not. I'm not actually sure it's the fastest lap. I think it's Joseph Willard actually is the fastest lap, but that obviously could still be broken. So Gal himself is going to come out in 5th, crucially ahead of the Alfa Romeo of Gabriel Gomez, who's coming with a full head of steam. But Gal does defend importantly and does get ahead of Gabriel Gomez, which I think the team ideally would have wanted. And I think actually Alma Carr might possibly actually be closing Frank Gamba behind. Meanwhile Laura Chung now getting lapping Jamie Mackenzie. Meanwhile Federi passing the manner there of Titkoff, Martinez I should say, as Frank Gamba making a little mistake there, actually coming out of the Ascari chicane, but fortunately I don't think there was much harm done. And so Lincoln Parner now attempting to pass the Manor coming through the Parabolica, which he does. And oh no, Federi is off again. Oh dear, Federi is off again. And well, he is going to be plumb last now. And actually that's helped Carr, because Gamma was held up by Federi there. So Carr is now going to go past Gamma into the first chicane here. And so Carr's alongside Gamma, and this could be a move, important move. And Carr is through, up into P2. And yet Gamba unfortunately lost out badly there. Federi, another mistake and still not out of the race, but as I said, he's going to be plumb last now. Well, he is plumb last actually, because he's down in 17th. Something is out, but Federi making yet another mistake. Coming through Parabolica. Unfortunately, no harm was done to anyone else this time round. We were looking at this battle for P8. This is between Chatfield, Moitian, and there's another car behind of Matteo Catalan. And so, as Moitian's going to go to the inside and overtake the Haas there of Chatfield. So now Matteo Catalan is right behind the Haas as they now head towards the Parabolica, and Catalan going to try and attempt to make a move on the inside of Chris Chatfield. They head towards the Parabolica, and no, can't make it stick there. Meanwhile, Gabriel Gomez is into the pits for Alpha. I'm pretty sure that is his first stop of the race. As Catalan once again alongside Chatfield, or at least attempting to, and I think he's just about got a wheel alongside as they head towards the first corner. Note he cuts back into the slipstream, and now he's going to try and make him on the inside, and note he can't do it, and so he has to wait another corner. So now we look at Laura Chung, who is at the moment clear of our car in second position, and she is just currently strolling at the moment, so she is coming down towards the straight, and it'll be pretty soon actually when she pits. I wonder if she'll go to the end. I think she probably will. If not, then that will give Gal a chance, as actually there's the pit call for her to come in on lap 30. So as Chung heads towards the first chicane, Amarcar coming across the line, Gamma obviously down to third, and Gamma will be fuming at his fellow Italian Federi really affected him there and cost him that second place. So as now we look at Catalan, who's on the back of Chris Chatfield. This is for P9 as they head towards the Ascari chicane, and Catalan is through. Moves up into ninth position. Moves up into 8th position, I should say. Actually, Catalan down, Chatfield down to 9th. As I said, Chung coming in the pits this lap, as we already knew. I thought she might try and go for one more lap, but she's fitting this lap, I think, to be sure. And I'm pretty sure that she'll go to the end, but we'll find out in about 30 seconds or so. Gal came out, obviously he's now down to 5th. You're going to have to get past Franco Lopez, who himself has had, again, a terrible race. Obviously Chatfield, as we see, has passed, Catalan has passed Chatfield. I keep getting those two mixed up. For 8th position, Chatfield's still yet to make a stop. Qpog actually higher up, also still yet to make a stop either. And so as we look now at Laura Chung coming around the Parabolica, we're now, of course, past halfway of this race, and now she is set to come in for her second and maybe final stop. We will find out very shortly. And so as we look at Chung coming in, and here we go, there's a yellow flag out on the circuit, and oh, Martinez is out. Rosetta Martinez is out, the latest retirement of the GP, and this time it's another mechanical failure, a water leak for Martinez. And this was what happened. So it was actually just coming across the start finish line, just missing the pits, and the problem was unfortunately terminal, and so he wasn't able to get back to the pits there. So unfortunately for Martinez, not going to be able to get a good result for today, but at least he'll have a seat for next season. And Laura Chung is going to go to the end of the race. So that's 26 laps, so that is going to be enough fuel to go to the end. So Miklas Gal, I don't think he's really got much of a chance. Meanwhile, Chung is going to come out the pits. It looks like just ahead of Franco Lopez. So again, a pit stop ahead for Lopez, who's just had no pace whatsoever from this race. And Lopez, who was leading at the start, it was looking pretty good for him. But ever since that stop, going on new tyres, has actually affected him. And there was another pit call as well. I think it was for Franco Gamma, actually, Gal's teammate, in second position actually. And no, actually, it wasn't. There's another pit call. Oh, it's for Carr actually. The leader of the race actually. I thought it was Gamba. My mistake. So Carr is going to come in the pits this lap, and he's got Gamba not too far behind. Of course, Carr got past Gamba following that incident with Federi. So as we look at Carr heading toward the Parabolica, and he's going to come jink to the right to go into the pits. And so here we go. Goes to the right, and he slows down to the right speed, which is 81 kilometers an hour. And so now Carr in the pits, and so we are going to see where he comes out on the circuit. I don't think he's going to threaten the win for this race, but as I said, there's still plenty of time. Things can happen. But Carr changing all 4 tyres, and what stuff is that? 6.8? Yeah, 6.8. That's not too bad. That's a fairly decent stop there for him. So as he comes out of the pits, and he is going to come out obviously behind Gal, obviously, But of course Gal will have one more stop to do before the end. Meanwhile, this is the battle for P3. This is between Gal and Lopez. Meanwhile, Franco Gamba is at the moment leading this race, of course, in front of his home crowd, and he'll be very much delighted with that one. The Italian fans will be very happy with that. And Gal, meanwhile, goes past Lopez for third position, which of course is important because Lopez actually is pitting this lap, actually, as a matter of fact, so he'll be going to the end, so Lopez maybe will have a better chance on these tyres. But as we look now at Laura Chung, who at the moment is running in P2, and will of course inherit the lead once Franco Gamba goes into the pits for his final stop. So she comes round now, the two Lesmos, 33 of 53, 20 laps still to go of this race. Meanwhile, Chris Chatfield is in the pits for Haas, and that is his only stop of the race. So the gap Gamba to Chung is 15.2 seconds, but the gap is coming down. Gamba's got a few laps until he pits actually as well. This is the battle for P6. This is between Catalan, Moitian, and Byrne. Because Byrne is now definitely in with a shout of the points. Now that he's just had a good pace really ever since, despite getting obviously caught up in the chaos early on. He's definitely got a really good chance of points here, Byrne. So let's just hope nothing else happens to him. Linka Barner, they're getting ahead of Chatfield, but Byrne all over the back of the Italian of Catalan. This is for 7th, with Moitian getting away a little bit in front. And so we look at Lopez now finally coming into the pits for his final stop of the race. So car will take P4. So Lopez again just had the lead early on, but has had no pace whatsoever. Can he recover anything on his final stint is going to be the big question. So as he goes out, 7.3 seconds stop, again not exactly quick, but he's going to come out I think just in front of this battle here for the low reach at the end, the P6, the other half. Catalan just about in the situation of Byrne. I think he might make a move into the first corner here now. Catalan competing this lap, and I think actually that is Lopez coming out of the pits there, right in front of Moitian himself is coming in. As they come in towards the chicane, there's no contact, but Lopez goes wide. Oh, he spins! And he spins right in front of Moitian, and fortunately no damage is done, but the only thing that's done damage to is Lopez's ego there. And so unfortunately came out at precisely the wrong time. That pit stop was a couple of seconds quicker. He might have got away with that, but went wide onto the curb, and the curb just screwed him, and on cold tyres as well doesn't help. And so Lopez goes around, and you can see it just losing control, and there he goes, just spinning around there. That was unfortunate for him. But yeah, what can you say? Lopez, it's been a disastrous race for him. Meanwhile, this is going to be pit stop battles galore here. This is a pit stop battle between Racing Point and Toro Rosso, as Moitian and Catalan are in the pits. So who is going to come out on top? Will Moitian still stay out ahead, or will Catalan jump him? So as they come in, of course, we'll go to the end, obviously. And so who's going to come out in front? And Moitian still does come out in front. A quicker stop, slightly quicker, 6 seconds for Moitian compared to Catalan, who had 6.3, so that was enough. So they come out just behind Mackenzie at the moment, is in 10th position. I don't know if he needs to go to the end, needs to pit again or not. Meanwhile, Gamba getting held up actually by these cars coming out of the pits here, getting held up behind Catalan. As we now look, so of course Chung getting the gap down to Gamba to just 13 seconds. Fosbury at the moment in 8th position. I didn't see if he was going, if he was pitting again. I'm pretty sure he is actually, because he pitted fairly early on. But Laura Chung said has got the gap to Gao in at the moment. He's in 3rd, of course, about nearly 5 seconds the gap was. So as you look at Byrne, who is pitting this lap, so Lopez will be free of him at least, and so Lopez will have P5 back, and that is pretty much just as high as he's going to get today. He is not going to get much higher than that. Well, I say much higher than that. He isn't going to get higher than that. Let's face it. So Byrne now comes into the pits. So, and where's he going to come on actually? Would he come out? Would he come out actually ahead of that battle between Moitian and Catalan that was going on? Because they had a pit stop battle there. Byrne, of course, is free of that. So no, so it should be easier for him. So Byrne comes in, changes all 4 tyres, and yep, 5.9, pretty good stop as well. So he comes out of the pits, and so as we head towards the pit exit, where is this battle? So there's Mackenzie, actually might go past. He's pitting actually once more anyway. And Byrne, Moitian was there, I just saw, so he's going to come up behind Moitian. Would he come up behind Chatfield as well? Chatfield is there, and he's going to the end, and oh, that's very close, but Byrne just about holds off Chatfield there, and that's important for him. Meanwhile, Franco Gamba has come in for his final stop of the race for Red Bull, as he's just coming out of the pits now. Where's he? So he'll come out ahead of Lopez, he'll come up behind Carl, but he could easily, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if Carl, I'm pretty sure has to pit once more, so that could be, no, actually, no, he doesn't actually, so no, that could be battle later on, because Gamma's going to be quicker than Carl, so we could see a good battle for the lower reach, well, I say for the lower reach of the podium, but Gal, crucially, of course, has to pit once more, so Carl will be second and Gamma will be third, and I think Gal could be fourth here, possibly. I think that goes there. Meanwhile, Catalan passing Chris Chatfield there for P12, and so Matteo Catalan actually making a little mistake there, actually, having passed him. So Mackenzie's pitting this lap, so he'll free up this gaggle of cars, but of course Byrne is going to be right behind Moichin as they come onto the front straight. I think he's going to be close enough to make a move into the chicane here, and the answer is no, he won't be. He's not close enough here, but we could see a good battle. There's Kupok battling with Fosbury. This is for P7. Fosbury himself is actually going to pit once more. Kupok, is he going to get a good run around the outside to pass Fosbury? And the answer is he's just about alongside him there. I don't think he's going to get quite enough to pass him there, but he's going to try and make a move coming into the De La Rocha chicane. And can he make it stick? No, he can't. Fosbury defends. So, and unfortunately, this is actually important for Kupok, of course, because he needs to get past him. And speaking of passing, Byrne is going to pass Moiche for ninth there. Coming into the De La Rocha chicane, there's a good move there. And what I was about to say before Byrne overtook is that Kupok, of course, has only made one stop, and pretty much all of the rest of the guys behind him have made two, so they're going to be much quicker than him come the end of the race. So Kupok needs to get past Fosbury ASAP if he wants to keep hold of that points position, of a high position. Oh, Fosbury goes wide actually, so yes, Kupok, speak of the devil, commentator's curse, now does go past Jared Fosbury, who makes a mistake. Was there contact there? Oh, there was actually, so that explains it. So lucky actually, they didn't get any damage from that, but Jared Fosbury gets overtaken there by David Kupok, and so Kupok now up to 7th position, and so now this is the battle for P8. So this is Fosbury actually. Well, never mind, because Fosbury's going in the pits. So yeah, let's forget about that. So Byrne now up into P8, and the gap to Kupok is only. Let's have a look at it as he comes across the line, or not. As we look at Carr in third, so I think it was only about 3 or 4 seconds. So yeah, he could easily catch Kupok. So it's going to be interesting. So there's Gamma getting past the Renner there, and you can see Carr in the distance. So I think Gamma could easily get Carr for P2. And Gal, speak of the devil, is going to be pitting this lap. So I suppose the gap, well, it might be a tough ask. So he's 5 seconds off, Car 7 seconds. I mean, Gal could actually still catch both of those two come the end of the race, I would say. So yeah, so don't count out Gal yet. So he could still easily get the podium. But of course, he'll probably maybe be a little bit frustrated at the fact that he might not actually finish on the podium on the 3 stop. Probably not the best strategy to go on, but he'll still at least get a top 4 at the very least. And Gal, who has performed very well this season, still in title contention, you could say. Meanwhile, I think that was for Derry in for another stop, for about his 10th stop of the day. Chatfield at the moment running in 10th, the last point he's going to be getting. As the pit call, of course, is for Gal, who is coming into the pits on this lap. So, where the gap to Car about 7.7 seconds. So Gal will be very quick at the end, so we could still see a battle for the podium, for the, well, I say for the podium, for the 2nd and 3rd. Not for top spot though. I think Chung has got that in the bag. So as you look at Gal heading towards the Parabolica, and he's set to come into the pits for his final stop of the race, and there we go, goes to the right, and we'll slow down all the way to 81 kilometers an hour. So there we go, now he's in. So obviously the crucial thing for Gal is how quick will this stop be for Red Bull. They need to make it very, very quick. So he comes in now, and let's see. So how quick will this stop be for him? And so 15 laps of fuel, schedule for tyres, and 6 seconds. Yeah, pretty quick. And now meanwhile we're looking. This is the battle for P7. So Byrne, despite being at the back at the start of the race, due to Verderi, is almost set to take 7th position off David Kupok coming across the line. So this has been some recovery from Evan Byrne, who's alongside the German of Kupok, coming into the first chicane, and he is up to 7th. Been a great recovery drive from Evan Byrne as he goes past Kupok for 7th. So he's now down to it, and he could be under pressure, Kupok, if he's not careful from the faster cars behind him. So as you look at Laura Chung at the moment. The gap to Car, 14 seconds. Gamba, you can see the gap actually to Car is less than a second. And here we go. Speaking of less than a second, Gamba is now here, and he's going to overtake Car, coming through into the parabolic. He's alongside him, and he's going to go through on the inside, and he takes second place, much to the delight of the Italian fans. But Car could still get him back, though, coming into the first chicane. So this battle is certainly not over. Car's going to have a go and try and pass Gamma back into the first chicane. He's just about alongside Gamma. Has he got enough speed coming into the chicane? And the answer is no. I think Gamma's held the position, has he? Yes. So Gamma does hold P2 and gets it ahead of Armar Car. But wait, hang on, no, it's still not over yet. Actually, Car's still in the slipstream with Gamma. He's not going to give this one up without a fight. And as they head towards the De La Roche chicane, Gamma, can he hold off Car? Will Car go for it on the inside? He's going to still go for it, Car. But I think Gamma, has he got the position? Yeah, he still held it here, but he's still right behind Car. He's going to have a look into the Lesmos. Not going to work. Is he going to wait until the back straight? I don't know, but I think Gamma now finally has secured that P2 position as we look at Laura Chung, who's extending the gap now over 15 seconds as she comes across the line. So we've only got 7 laps to go of this race. And so as we look at Franco Gamba coming through the Parabolica. Oh, he's gone wide! He's gone wide. Oh, no! And oh, would you believe it? And Franco Gamba has just thrown away a certain podium in the blink of an eye. Could you believe it? I can't believe what he's just done there, Franco Gamba. He had P2 all secured, and he has just thrown it away like that. That is going to be a painful one to take, but Car is going to take a second, and crucially, of course, Gal is going to take third. So it looks like Gal is going to get the podium, and so a quick stop there by the Red Bull mechanics. But Franco Gamba will be fuming at the mistake he's made. Just didn't need to push hard, went wide, went onto the gravel, and unfortunately lost a bit of the wing. He thought maybe he might have been able to get away with it, but the Red Bull flies. It's got his wings, and there was Car, of course, who had to take a bit of an avoiding action there as Gamba losing control of his car. But of course, Gamba, I think, would he still come out in P4? I think he might do, actually. I think Lopez is actually that far behind, so Gamba will still come out in P4. And yes, I don't know where Lopez is. Oh, there he is, actually. So it was close, but Gamba will still come out in P4, so Lopez can't even get that. So meanwhile, this is the battle for P8. This is David Kupok on the one stop, going to be at mercy to the two stoppers. Moichin is there trying to overtake him at ninth, and Chris Chatfield is there in the background there. So Moichin now goes past Kupok as they come into the Parabolica, but of course that's not going to be over because Kupok's still in the slipstream of Moichin, so he, just like Kupok, will try and get him straight back as they head towards the first chicane. And Kupok going to go on the inside of the racing point, and so he's going to get the position straight back from Moichin coming into the first chicane. Just 5 laps left to go of this race, and Kupok goes back down the inside of Moichin and takes 8th position. But of course Chris Chatfield, that's allowed him to catch up, so the battle is going to extend and carry on. But of course Moichin didn't get a good run off that chicane there, having been overtaken by Kupok, so Chatfield is waiting to see what is going to happen between these two. And so as Moichin comes through the second chicane, of course they've got the blue flag as Laura Chung is there. She's lapped Matteo Catalan, who still actually could be in with a shout of points, you never know. But yeah, so at the moment, let's not actually forget Gabriel Gomez at this moment in time, 6th position. We haven't seen much of him at all this race, but he only did the one stop. I'm pretty sure he's not stopped again, so he did the one stop and he's in 6th. What a performance by him, as Moichin again tried to look at Kupok there, but now he's going to be under pressure by Chatfield behind. And so as they come through the Ascari chicane, there's Chung in the background, who's going to be lapping all these guys very soon. And so they head towards the Parabolica, but Chatfield's got a great run off the corner, and now he's going to surely overtake Moichin for 9th position coming into the Parabolica. Will he do it? The answer is yes. No, I think Moichin might have to run around the outside, actually. It's going to be side by side between the two, coming onto the front straight, and of course the blue flag is out, so they've got to be careful, and Chung's got to be careful as well that she doesn't stick her nose in. As she comes across the line, just 4 laps left, still side by side. Chatfield going to hold the position from Moichin, is he? Yes, no. Moichin might get the position, and he does. Actually, Moichin does get 9th, or does he? Chung is there now, but I think has he got it? No, I think Chatfield. Yes, no, he does. Chatfield now going to go on the inside, actually. So this is certainly not over. Still going to have a go, and that's going to relieve David Kupok ahead of them. Chatfield on the inside of Moichin for 9th. Would he go for it? The answer is no, he doesn't. And now Laura Chung is there, so now he's going to have to give up a position to the Ferrari, although Chung doesn't get through there coming into the Lesmos. But now Chung has finally got past them, although Moichin's in the slipstream still. of the Ferrari, as I think they're about to come onto the last lap actually, and yes they do. So we're now on the last lap of this race, and Moichin attempting to go past Chung there, and thinks better of it, thank goodness. So Chung is probably bricking it at the moment, having to deal with Moichin trying to lap him, and this battle going on as now Chung is going to pass David Kupok, and that could be a good opportunity for Moichin. He's going to go around the inside. I think Moichin's passed Kupok, and he is. Kupok has been passed by Moichin for 8th place there. Kupok really, unfortunately, that worked out perfectly for Moichin there, so he moves up to 8th. And of course now Chatfield behind in the battle, and of course Catalan is there as well, so that battle is going to go on, it looks like, until the end. But for Laura Chung, again, a great performance by her, of course, managing to get past Gal after the first stop, and she's never looked back really. I wouldn't say she's, I don't know if I'd say she's dominated this race per se, as Chatfield all over the back of Kupok behind in the battle for 9th, and Catalan is there as well. They've only got a couple of opportunities more to do it. But Laura Chung, you could say, I don't know if you could say she dominated this race, but she's definitely been the quickest, although Joseph Willows was fairly quick early on. Who knows what could have happened if he hadn't had that incident at the Parabolica. But Laura Chung, after dominating last time out at Spa, she's going to win yet again, and brings herself into slim title contention, let's not forget, as Laura Chung comes around, and in front of the Tifosi, of course, Laura Chung is going to win the Italian Grand Prix, and across the line, Moichin is going to cross the line in 8th, and who got 9th? I think Chatfield may have nabbed 9th at the line from Kupok. Catalan just behind in 11th there, as Amar Kar is going to come across the line in 2nd position, inherited that thanks to Gamba's mistake. So I think he'll be pretty satisfied to get that. Gal not too far behind actually in 3rd. Jamie McKenzie 12th, Fosbury in 13th, disappointing end to what looked to be a promising race for him. Franco Gamba, he'll be again gutted that he threw away what was a certain podium and 2nd place in 4th. Lin Capana in 14th, Franco Lopez, well, again, just a race to forget for him really. Had such a good start as well, but after the first pit stop just had absolutely no pace whatsoever, and then of course after the last pit stop, spinning coming out of the pits, that was unfortunately pretty embarrassing. So for Lopez it was a day to forget, but at least he still extended his lead over Willows in the standings. But it could have been a whole lot better had his car been better, or had his pace been better. For Dairy, last and 25 seconds, so yeah, that makes no difference. He must have put him back in Spa, really. With that, Gomez, great performance on the one stop to get 6th, but also Evan Byrne, shout out to him, fantastic recovery, and moves up in 7th position. So this was the replay of Chatfield versus Kupok coming to the line, and we're going to see if Chatfield got 9th position off Kupok as they come to the line, and it's very close as they come to the finish line, but yes, and Chatfield does nab 9th on the line from David Kupok. So a great end to the race there, and so good job there by Chatfield as well. Let's not forget he was on the one stop too, so he did a great job of managing to get points, and again nabbing 9th on the line from Kupok, who unfortunately lost a couple of positions in the last few laps. Those tyres just not holding up for him, unfortunately. But that was the race over, 1 hour and 30 minutes, quick as usual. But Laura Chung was winning ahead of Amar Kar in 2nd, Nicholas Gal in 3rd, Franco Gamba 4th, Franco Lopez 5th, Gabriel Gomez 6th, and Evan Byrne the last car on the lead lap. Ronan Moichin, Chris Chatfield and David Kupok completing the points with Catalan 11th, and Joseph Willows actually still set the fastest lap early on, so that means nobody gets the fastest lap point. So Willows, who knows, if he hadn't made that mistake, who knows how he would have done today. And the rest of the order is as follows: Mackenzie, Fosbury, Campana, Tikoff, and Federi with the 25 seconds as well. Race to forget for him. There's Rosetta Martinez, Felix Sontag, Paulina Tomaselli, Joseph Willows, George Roque, and Kirosima De Rosa, the drivers who did not finish this race. So now we'll take a look at the drivers' standings, and Lopez extends his lead. It's now 40 points over Joseph Willows in 2nd position. Nicholas Gal in 3rd position, just 22 points away from Willows. And Laura Chung now at 170 points, just 7 points behind Gal. Don't count her out just yet. Amar Kar and Gamba still close together, 7 points behind. Byrne moving up into the top 10 ahead of Moichin there with his points finishing 7th. Amongst the movements, Federi Chatfield moving ahead of George Roque actually into 13th position. Gomez moving above Mackenzie to 15th. The rest of the order obviously follows. Kupok getting that point. Victor Sondag in 18th. Jared Fosbury 19th. Campana 20th. Maxime Tikoff 21st. Martinez still the only driver yet to score this season, but of course he does have a seat for next season, which of course he'll be relieved about. Mercedes, meanwhile, just 7 points still ahead of Ferrari. That is going to go all the way down to the wire. That championship. Red Bull not still within a shout in 3rd. McLaren kind of on the run in 4th. Racing Point 5th. Renault moving above Toro Rosso into 6th position. Alfa Romeo's 8th. Haas in 9th. Williams in 10th. And Manor last 11th. And the driver of the day was given to Gabriel Gomez for a fantastic performance on the one-stop to get 6th position. Went completely under the radar. We didn't see him at all this race, but thoroughly deserved, so well done to him. So that was the Italian Grand Prix. Very entertaining as it always is. And so we will see you for the next round, the return of the Korean Grand Prix at the Korea International Circuit. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to check out all the links in the description, our Twitter, join our Discord, and our Wikia. Check them out. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you in Korea.